Hey, it's a tip! And today we're going to talk about Vine, because it's the cool thing to do.
Apparently.
That's your line! You're supposed to say especially if you're black and funny.
You stole my line!
Yeah.
I'll get a cup.
Alright, you do that. So yeah, we're not really going to talk about Vine for the entire podcast, but I did want to touch on it a bit, just because I think it's pretty freaking amazing. Not like I follow a lot of people, but it's like the coolest idea ever. You just put out not two, what am I saying? You put out 7 seconds of video, and that's like the entire video.
I'm going to die.
You know what is unfortunate about it though? It kind of put the 5-second film guys out of business.
Yeah.
They quit because they were like, well, this is pretty much our format, and people are better at it than us, so...
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, that's like really sad.
That's sad. You were the guys that were revolutionaries in doing that. Just like a joke right away and the thing was over.
Yeah.
Like, you're the people that started all that, and then once it became like the norm for people to do that,
it's just kind of
you weren't as good at it.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
That's got it. Well, I mean, like, I really like the 5-second film guys, and I really do wish that they would have, like, continued with it, like, on Vine or something. But, like, I don't know, it's just... Rooster Teeth talked about it.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how, like, it's just not... I don't know. I feel like Rooster Teeth felt the same way that I feel about it. Is just, I wish they would have kept doing it, but at the same time, I can see how it could just be not good for them.
Yeah.
Because like their stuff was actually pretty good production.
I remember the first 5-second film that I ever watched was like these two guys meet at a door and they're like, "You got the money right here. You got the girl right here," and he just holds up a bloody plastic bag.
See,
that made me laugh.
I think the first one I watched was Dr. I. You haven't seen that one?
No.
It's basically where like I don't know what's going on. I think they're like all drunk or something, but I think I remember seeing a guy holding like a beer bottle or some form of alcohol, and he's like, "Give the patient 50 cc's of this or that," and then like he says something, and then the Dr. I's there and he goes, "No," and he pulls up a syringe and goes, "Give him AIDS," and I was like, "Holy shit!"
What the Dr. I?
Yeah.
Why is it called Dr. I?
It's doctor who has an eye for a head, like an eyeball.
Oh shit!
Science, bitch.
Is it like the eye?
No, what? Of Sauron?
The killer eye.
Oh.
The killer. No, serious. There's a movie called The Killer Eye that was made in the 90s on, I'm pretty sure, mini DV.
Mini
DV, like the tape.
Really?
Like tape.
That's not a thing that many people bought.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, we're using it.
I know what they are, and I know they're probably better for recording.
The fuck is that?
Or make things compact. No.
What are you trying to get?
Shut up. See, I'm saying like to have like it's more. I don't know. See,
like
anytime I see somebody with like a big camera, that's what it uses, and then like they would transfer it over to
digital.
Yeah, digital or.
And it's like usually use I forgot what it's called, but there's like a slot, and you put it. It's like a VHS, and you shove it in there, and it takes it in, and it has different settings on it.
Oh, an 8-track.
No. What is it called? I know the name for it.
I just don't use it.
Yeah, whatever. We still use we use HD DV, and they're like really high quality.
Yeah,
it's tight. But yeah, this movie, back to The Killer Eye, the scientist kidnaps this homeless kid, and he's like, "I'm gonna do some experiments on you." This is all in the first 20 seconds of credits in the movie, like the first 20 seconds of the movie, and like he zaps his eye with his laser, which is supposed to open up a dimension, or I don't know what the fuck is supposed to happen.
What?
But he shoots him in the eye, and then he's like, "I guess it didn't work." And then you see the shadow of the kid, and like his eye right here, it gets larger and larger, and like it flies out of his head. And then like you think it's like, oh, it's gonna be like this thing, and no, it pans to this giant eyeball, who walks around using like the tentacle, I guess.
Oh,
but the connector to the back of your eye.
The retina.
It's like huge, and like it moves along, and it rapes a bunch of girls.
No, not the retina. What am I saying? The retina is it's on the back of your eye.
And there's like a lot of sex in that movie, and a lot of weird homoeroticism. and the eye rapes a couple of chicks, and they don't even know they're being raped by the eye because they're in the shower, and then all of a sudden something's touching them in the vagina, and they're just like, I'm gonna let this happen. This feels awesome. They never know it's the eye.
See, like,
And then they have to kill the eye, and they zap it with a laser, and the eye gets teleported.
See, I don't understand shit like that. I feel like if a girl was in the shower and felt something touch her vagina, she'd immediately flip backwards, like, what the fuck?
If I was in the shower and something touched my vagina, I'd totally freak.
Yeah, me too. I would, like, totally, like, look down, like, holy shit, my vagina's on fire.
Exactly. And then they zap a laser at the eye to send it back to wherever the hell it came from, and it opens up a portal behind it. It just opens up a perfect circle, and there's like an array of eye creatures sitting around a pyramid, and he gets sucked back into the portal. I don't know.
What the fuck?
And then the movie ends with them going like, well, glad that was taken care of. And then both girls are like rubbing their stomachs like, am I pregnant?
Really?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Holy shit. Did you say you watched this in your film class?
No. What? No, of course we wouldn't watch that. Like the most useless thing. I watched it on the internet.
Well, why would we do that? That's such a useless
the guys from Red Letter Media watched it, and I'm like, I want to watch this now. So me and my friend Fritz kind of...
That's like watching Rubber, because every single like person on YouTube has said, yeah, Rubber's terrible.
I got to see Rubber.
You what?
I want to see Rubber.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, the Killer Tire, right?
It's great.
There's a lot of movies like that are great. Every 6 months you'll find The Room on YouTube.
Dude, Centipede 3.
There's a Centipede 3.
They're making it.
Gross.
Okay, so
have you seen the second one?
Yeah, I have.
It's gross.
So I think
makes me feel.
I think I heard this. It was it might have been on Let's Play, or no. It might have been on the Patch.
Yeah.
Which is Rooster Teeth's gaming podcast, and so one of them mentioned something about like I want to see the guy who has to make the like collector's edition box thing, because it's just going to be like the 3 DVDs that like go like anus to mouth, and like to get the first DVD you have to grab it through the back of the other DVDs.
That would be great. There's no way you're gonna make a box set of Human Centipede and not go for that joke.
For real.
At least not having maybe the main characters on the spine of the box, and then having them in the position.
To where if you like line up the boxes, it just like puts in there.
They're a Human Centipede.
That'd be great.
That would be fantastic.
See, I imagine.
I don't know what kind of sick fuck would buy that, but I'm just saying.
I imagine the box and like the DVDs would have like a little mechanism that would slide them out and then like plop them down into position.
That'd be great.
Did you just knock on something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, the fuck. So like, yeah, it just like slides them out, and then it just like they're just sitting there like ass to mouth.
That's awesome.
DVDs.
Bass to mouth.
Best. Okay.
You've never seen that?
No.
WikiLeaks.
What?
And his brother Tiddlywinks.
Fuck you talking
about? No, it's a South Park episode.
Oh. Oh, no. I've seen
the one where they throw Cartman under the bus. Literally, they throw him under a moving bus.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to watch that. I've seen the Centipede. Or iCentipad?
The iCentipad. Whoa, it does email, music, and it shits in Kyle's mouth. I love that whole episode how he's going on these rages about fucking him, and then at the end he's like, why don't you just come down here and fuck me, God? And you see the lightning strike, and then it cuts back to him in the hospital crying his eyes out. That's a good way to...
My mom fucks me. That episode was so, like, you want to punch Cartman in the fucking face, but at the same time...
There's, like, a lot of episodes where, like, Cartman's being an asshole, but it's so funny that you love it, and then there's sometimes where you're, like, you enjoy it. Well, you don't really... You enjoy the show because Cartman's being an asshole and it is funny, but you kind of want to, like, you get really... You have inner turmoil because you just really hate Cartman, and then something happens at the end where you're like, all right, that felt good.
Yeah.
Versus Cartman being struck by lightning and then ending up in the hospital.
Cartman's my favorite character, I think.
Yeah.
But like every time he gets hurt, I'm just like, the little bastard deserves it.
He does.
See, like
when the principal describes Cartman as a fat tumor.
Who took the dookie in the urinal? Was it Kyle?
It was Stan.
It was Stan, because he was working for Al-Qaeda.
No, it was Stan because he did that, and he started a whole 9/11 conspiracy thing just to lead everyone off.
Yeah.
Which is the funniest thing ever. Why am I wearing this tiny-ass clip-on tie?
Why is that clip-on tie here? Oh, I wonder if, like, your little cousin, like, has to do something for school, and it has to be fancy or something.
It's a tiny-ass tie.
Yeah, I know. It's for, like, little, tiny people.
Or for girls.
Japanese girls, maybe.
Sing girls. in high school.
Seen girls, yeah.
Did you see what Jackson did?
What?
Our former, well, it's not even like he's an ex.
He's just kind of never here.
He's just kind of never here.
Which is why I'm kind of confused as to why he's still on the title cards.
Because I haven't drawn a new one.
Yeah.
I'm designing a new one.
Do it.
Okay, I will.
Get it finished.
You look so weird.
Dude, get it finished.
Okay, I will. Or
tonight.
Fuck you.
Jackson did what?
Right, okay, I'm talking about the Scene Girls. Jackson, okay, so his girlfriend, whose name I will not name,
Let's say her name is...
I'll call her Cassim G.
I was about to say Cassidy.
You can say Cassidy, sure. For legal reasons, we'll call her Cassidy.
Or Cassim G.
Or Kate. So, so many references. Anyway, so she has a habit of taking selfies, right?
Yeah.
Just because, she's a teenage girl and she takes selfies. Jackson apparently finds that extremely annoying. So he undermined a project over the weekend of making a parody of every single selfie that she's taken and has posted on Facebook and or Instagram. He redid, like with him in it.
Really?
And it's really funny. He showed me his favorite one was, I guess, during her scene phase, and like she's like this, like it's like her face, right? She's like this, and then there's like sun or like light coming in, like harsh light. Everything's black except for her face and her hand. And he took a picture of the same picture of him, like same lighting and everything, but him going like that. And then he wrote, "Oh my God, I'm so seen. No one understands my pain."
Holy shit!
And apparently she stopped. It's really funny though.
She stopped?
Apparently, because he said, I got a message from him in the morning, like at 7 a.m. He sent me a picture of like a selfie. He's like, and I'm like, we were joking around, and he's like, I did a parody of Cassidy's selfies. There we go. They just showed me a bunch of them. They're really funny.
Nice.
That's gotta become a thing.
You need to send me those.
I do.
That's fucking hilarious. I just want to see Jackson like.
And he would post them
He
would post them in albums too, where it was like just 2 photos. And on Facebook, on mobile, and I think on like online too, it'll show you maybe 2 or 3 photos of the album that you can like scroll through.
Yeah.
So he has to set it up where you see both of them at the same. It's the funniest thing ever.
They're on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to go see this.
So yeah, that was pretty funny. So yeah, there's this tiny tie on me right now. Yeah.
Tiny tie.
Speaking about tiny ties, I'm going to be filming a video. I'm going to be filming a music video for Maxwell Silver Hammer.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be mildly violent. It's going to go from like a really calm, like all the normal parts, because the song is really happy and cheerful. So all the parts where it's normal, where everyone's just acting normal, it's going to be like 4:3 video. It's going to be like really strict ruling. Like everything's going to be like, I forgot the term. Everything's going to be symmetrical. Everything's going to be all calm and pretty until it gets violent. Then it goes widescreen. And all the colors fluctuate. It's going to be a good time. And it's going to be violent.
That's good.
Yeah. Hope to get that out there or something. And someone like posted a comment on one of my videos. I was talking about how like I've been away too long. And I'm like, yeah. You've got like, all the stuff that he said were stuff that I'm trying to fix at the moment. So I'm going to try to put more effort into my videos and actually try to make them. What? Did you find them?
I found one.
What did you lose? That's funny.
Holy shit.
I really wish you guys could see this, but we probably not.
Oh yeah, we're not going to. Hold on, whatever the comments say. Cassidy is like, wow, and then Jackson's like, shush, you know I love you, and she's like, I'm not gonna go on with this.
What? And then his grandfather says, "You're too loved to love anyone except for your grandfather." Which we're not gonna put that in.
Okay.
Oh, you're too young to love anyone except your papa.
Yeah, but cut out the silence. Anyway,
that's kind of creepy, but all right.
Hold on, I need to see the rest of his.
His grandfather posts on his Facebook stuff a lot. He comments a lot. It's kind of awkward because we'll be talking about something. And then someone will say, "Oh, that's fucking tight." His grandfather will come in. "Don't use that language, young man." And then he'll have to edit the comment out, or he'll have to reply, "Oh, sorry about that."
I'm sorry. I think maybe he might be like uploading them one day at a time.
I really hope that's the case.
That would be fucking amazing.
That would. His little pipe. Do you remember? Fucking these sucked. I don't know. I think we talked about them.
What
on
are
the
they?
podcast? No, we didn't. Do you remember? Okay, remember it came with like this little tube of
Are you talking about that shitty like
bubble blower
bubble?
thing?
Yeah.
Plastic bubble, and
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
like,
shit. And like a fork wouldn't break it or whatever.
and it was like super hard to blow a bubble, anyways. And then
Yeah.
the shit would get you high.
What?
Yeah, that's why they kind of recalled it. 'Cause
Really?
it was like a strong ass. Dude, that thing smelled like if everyone opened up a brand new box of Sharpies and like opened them up at the same time, and it took a huge whiff of it. That's what that stuff in the tube basically was.
Well, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember how frustrating. I would always buy them, but I should have learned. My young self should have like just learned like they're not even worth it at all. Was that the Ninth Doctor?
Yeah,
Okay,
that wasn't it.
I like the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah, he's cool. Everyone's favorite doctor is fucking Matt Smith, though. 12.
I thought he was 11.
Huh?
He's 11.
Yeah, 11. That's what I meant.
10th,
The new one's
the
12.
10th Doctor is David Tennant, and the 11th Doctor is
That's
Matt
how you remember
11
it?
Smith.
So you remember?
No, I saw
Matt
that.
11 Smith.
I saw that on a Tumblr post. That made me laugh, and it's always like that took me a couple of minutes to realize that the word 11 is not in Smith.
Matt 11 Smith.
That post started off really smart. And I'm like, oh, I wonder where they're going with it. Oh, okay, that's where they're going with this.
Whatever.
So, there's a girl in my film class who like got me excited. I remember one time I said this just kind of as an offhand comment that the new Powerpuff Girls special that at that point hadn't come out yet. Apparently, the Jamie Hewlett who did the animation, did Tank Girl and the Gorillas and all that.
Yeah.
Apparently, was going to be working on it with the creator.
Yeah.
I was completely wrong. So I just want to fix that problem. That's not correct at all. It's not even a new series. It was just that one special. Jamie Hewlett had
You thought it
nothing
was
to
a
do with it.
series?
Yeah, because this girl.
My
told me-
girlfriend thought it was a series too, and I was like, no, it's just the one special. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, it's a series. And I'm like,
The thing is,
No.
I think I was watching a Gorillas video during class, and she kind of looked over and she's like, "Hey, did you know that they're going to be making a new Powerpuff Girls series with Jamie Hewlett as the art director?" And she's been saying this for a while. I don't really have the heart to tell her that that's absolutely not true. I kind of like it could be simple enough to just say like, "No, I'm pretty sure you're mistaken," because I don't know, whatever. I just don't really know how to say it without sounding like a dick.
especially at this point.
Especially at this point, I'm letting it slide too long.
like,
First of all, Craig McCracken wasn't involved with the special, which there's a lot of hate on the internet. I gotta admit, it was all right. It was pretty entertaining.
I mean, like, they should have gotten him.
The
Help from him. Help.
original creator, or
Yeah, the original creator.
yeah, which it makes no sense. At least it wasn't like a thing where it's like, no, I've never. Yeah, so we're working on Teen Titans Go. No, we've never watched Teen Titans.
Yeah, like that
It's not
was
like that.
bullshit.
It's like it's people who worked on Powerpuff Girls worked on the special.
Okay.
Just it didn't involve the original creator.
Fucking Ringo Starr was in that shit.
Fucking Ringo Starr was kind of wasted though. I mean, he played a funny character, but it was out of the three characters that just kind of moved the plot along.
Yeah.
Not that they were like main characters. Like there's these three characters that just had nothing to do with each other, and Mojo Jojo's plan revolved around them. Which his plan at the end was kind of funny to me.
Mm.
I think it was like,
That was funny. I want to watch it.
yeah,
No, I'm
you should watch
joking.
it. It's not that bad.
Actually, they just covered on the newest podcast that there was like a 3-month window, and then after that, all bets on spoilers are off.
That makes sense. 3-month window.
Because it's like entire conversations have to be paused because like your friend might want to watch that thing in the future, maybe sometime.
Yeah, so you have to
Possibly.
stop. Yeah.
So you have to stop? No, it's bullshit. If it's a movie that's been out for 3 months, I say go ahead. Unless, okay, here's where I kind of have to say, on that one. Like, if someone were having a conversation and I heard something like Kick-Ass 2, I would leave the room. I really do plan on watching that, but I'm not going to force people to stop talking about it because of spoilers.
Which is funny, because I did feel bad because it was in the same month. It was about a week after I saw it that I spoiled it for you.
Yeah, fuck you. It wasn't even like a couple weeks. It was like the week that
It was
came
like
out.
the week after, yeah. Something like that.
Fuck you.
God, I mean, that was pretty funny.
At least, well, you did kind of spoil the ending for me.
Yeah. Well, I kept asking you, are you okay being spoilers? And you're like, yeah, sure. And I gave you a big spoiler, and you're like,
No,
I didn't want to know that.
You didn't ask about.
No, I asked you afterwards. I'm like, are you okay with knowing the ending? And you're like, well, at this point...
Yeah, like at this point I didn't care.
Which, I'm completely fine with being spoiled on movies. Even if there's a huge twist, I'm completely fine. I like the experience of watching it.
I like the experience too, but that
See,
I don't know.
like with you,
I feel like knowing that the entire movie, I'm just gonna be like, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen?
like you do that, which that makes complete sense. But if it was the opposite, if you saw Kick-Ass 2 before I did, and you spoiled it like that to me, I don't know if I would have gone like mad or like what the hell, dude? Like I probably would have been like, oh, that's interesting. Usually I can watch movies and not even think about past knowledge. Like I'll probably know like, oh, this character's gonna die in this movie. I know that, but I like watching the experience leading up to that moment. Like I have to, like where people like think that's the only thing I can think of, and it kind of just ruins it for them. I don't really see it as that. It doesn't really do anything.
See,
for
like
me.
I don't know.
Other than knowing that.
Like I'm not gonna be thinking about the entire movie. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this movie's great, and then like as it gets towards where I think it's gonna happen, I'm like, it's gonna happen soon.
Like every single movie that I watched, if I haven't watched it and it already came out, usually I'll sometimes I'll get curious enough and I'll look up the plot, or someone will tell me what happens, and I'll be completely fine with that. And as I watch it, just like the experience of watching it happen is enough for me. The only movie I've never ever spoiled for myself was Toy Story 3, which is probably why I cried so much. Because there was about 42% of me that was like, oh yeah, they're gonna die. That's
What? In the trash?
it. Yeah.
They weren't gonna die in the trash.
No, they weren't gonna die in the trash.
You thought they were?
No, there was like that, okay, without, like, since I never spoiled that movie for myself, I was watching and I'm like, oh, holy shit, this is, like, really suspenseful. There was that small voice in the back of my head that was saying, like, I don't think we're gonna make it out of here, dude. Because I saw, like,
what if this is the end and Annie just comes back one day like, hey, where are the toys? And his mom's just like, I don't know.
Because, like, I was started, like, thinking around and I'm like, because I completely forgot about the aliens at all. Here's the part that freaked me out, because when the aliens run out and you see that truck, I thought the aliens got like ran over, which is why I'm like, what the shit? So when they were in the trash, I'm like, well, they killed the 3 aliens right away, and I saw no way they could ever escape that. So I'm like, I think there's a possibility that they might die, and then when they came back, I'm like, oh, I guess they didn't die.
Even if they ran over the aliens are like fucking dog toys. Like they'll pop back.
It's still kind of weird to see just like these little just like out of the way, and it's not even like it stays on that shot. It's like the truck, and then they get pushed into the thing, and so you don't even like ran over. All right, next scene. That's a good movie though.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Yeah, I was thinking about for some reason I just made up this thought in my head. I was thinking about like my favorite movies, and like my top 5 favorite movies. I was thinking like, even though I love these movies, I love the most.
Yeah.
None of those are perfect movies.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Repo Man isn't perfect, Fear and Loathing isn't perfect, Scott Pilgrim isn't perfect, Reservoir Dogs isn't perfect, and I was thinking about.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim is probably in my top 20. It's funny because it's in my top 20, but I think I only like it because I read the books.
Which I would think. See, I would think it'd be the opposite. That if there wasn't any books if it wasn't based on books,
you think it'd be better?
You probably would like it. Maybe not even better, but
I would like it for itself more.
For itself, but I'd imagine I'd imagine it's more of like. It's how do I say it? I think you would like what I always imagine it being like. I guess just for its movie itself, I like it that much. But if I completely think about the book and like deconstruct it compared to how much I like the book, I probably wouldn't like it as much.
I don't think it's the same thing.
No?
No.
You think you like it more just because it's based on those books?
Yeah, because like I know the characters. Since a lot of the movie was like cut down to its bare bones parts and it had no character development to it. Because like you might want to argue, oh no, these characters are really like they're really fleshed out.
They have characters that are likable. But there's no like development. Where in the books, because
like
books are 6 books.
You don't learn to grow a character through its character. You learn to like a character through its development and growth. Because
Steven Stills in the book, take the character from like maybe the.
Hold on. At the end of the movie, did he turn out being?
No, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
Take the Steven Stills from maybe the first 3 books. That's probably the Steven in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more neurotic, but that's the same. But like over the course of the book, you kind of see him disappear. And you see him just do stuff that you don't really think is going on. Or he's just hanging out with that dude.
Because like
right.
Scott's hanging out with Ramona, and then like Kim is kind of like, I feel like Kim's more attached to Scott than she is to Steven. So Kim kind of goes more towards like hanging out with Ramona and them, and then like young Neil's closer to Steven.
Yeah,
they live together. So like you don't see as much of young Neil and Steven as you would. and then but you still see Kim every now and then. And then, like, you see glimpses of Steven and how he's, like, changed a little bit. And it's like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
In the book,
when
like,
we were
like
hanging out, it was
you
a
see
little-
him just kind of, like, just do stuff that he wasn't doing in the first couple of books.
And then you
don't think anything of it. And then like, he reveals that he's gay. And he even make a joke about it because he's like, Scott's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, you just kind of seem busy. Like, making a joke that, like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to focus on this huge subplot about me turning gay in the book. Just, it's your story. I'm just going to be doing my own thing. The more I think about that, the more I think about some of the jokes in the last book, the more I think it's, like, better. Like, that joke about, like, it just seems like you were busy. The more I think about in context with the actual book,
see, I feel like one of the things that he did really well was that he didn't focus. Like, I don't want to call Steven's story bullshit because it's definitely not. I would like to see like maybe a little spin-off, like novelette about it. But like okay, how many chapters would you say the Scott Pilgrim books are? Like,
chapter-wise?
Yeah, chapters like.
Fuck, I don't know.
That's weird.
I was about to say 6, but like in the book there's like chapters.
Yeah.
In the movie there's chapters too.
Yeah, there is. And you did they have like title cards?
Yeah, like Ramona Come Closer and Infinite Sadness. They had all that stuff on there.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Pretty.
I thought I could remember title cards, but I couldn't really completely remember. See, I don't want to say 6 movies at all. I definitely don't want to say 6 movies, or maybe even 3 movies. It would probably be better in 2 movies.
If that would have been interesting. Then again, we saw how the first movie turned out. Like, there probably wasn't. I'm kind of glad it was just 1 movie, because if it was planning on being 2 movies, we probably wouldn't have gone that second one.
I would have.
Well, no. I would have liked it. I'm saying like because like Scott Pilgrim did not do that well like at all. Like, critics loved it.
It's gained a cult following.
It's a cult movie, but that's what I mean by like. I think its budget was like 40,000 or 40 million, and it's only gotten like 10 million back.
Really?
Yeah, through DVD sales and stuff.
I think it might be 10 million profit.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by like
I feel
we
like
probably wouldn't have gone a second one. Especially because like there's less stuff. If you were to split it up, there's less stuff.
Whenever you say 40 million budget, that's not
complete.
I feel like whenever people hear 40 million budget, they think, oh, everything that's in the movie
is that 40 million?
Costed $40 million. That's people. It's also people working. So like everybody got paid exactly what they want, and then it made 10 million excess, which is a successful movie.
No. It was a bomb. Like, it cost 40 million.
No. I know.
And it only got back overall. It only got back 10, which is look it up. Which is a bomb. Same happened to Kick-Ass and Dredd.
See, I don't know.
Which is why they think people are thinking like, well, considering it's a Marvel movie, it might do way better. But people are like, or some of the nerd people I guess that I listen to, they were talking about how like Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's attached to Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it might be a success. But there is a possibility it might be this year's like Scott Pilgrim or Judge Dredd, because it's just weird. And
I think people have a bullshit stigma around graphic novels.
They do,
and
especially if there's one that you don't like. If someone were to make a graphic novel adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns, I mean, it's a graphic novel, but everyone knows who Batman is. But if you were to make Sandman is kind of big, but like Scott Pilgrim, if you were to make a comic book adaptation of something that not many people know of like at all, it's not going to probably do that well.
Yeah.
Like Dredd. See, Dredd didn't do that well
either. What I'm confused about is, I guess, it's not really confusing seeing as how, like, it's a TV show.
The heck?
I was going to look up...
No, I just love that that's still up there. You know what would have been cool? And you know how, like, Adult Swim aired that little, like, bonus animated Scott Pilgrim thing? Wouldn't it be cool if, like, Scott Pilgrim did, or Adult Swim did like a miniseries run of Scott Pilgrim? That would have been. I
still feel like I would want a full live action movie experience.
See that, which is why I think Scott Pilgrim is pretty good, because it's like, who would have ever thought there would have been a live action Scott Pilgrim movie, and who would have ever thought it would have been good?
I don't know.
Think maybe when it first came out, and then someone was like, "I'm gonna make a movie adaptation of this." How do you think it would be that good? If it was a live, like
of Precious Little Life?
No. When the series started, like say in the beginning of Scott Pilgrim, before, all this development started happening, you started seeing who was directing, who was, all this stuff.
Are you asking if they thought the movie would be good, or if they thought the graphic novel would be
good? The movie, like when the series first started. Say you're on the second book, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna make a live action adaptation of this," but like no director or anything like that. Do you think it could be pulled off at all?
Okay, you say when the series just
Okay,
started.
okay. Say the series
Do you
just
mean
started.
like they want to make a movie after the first book or the entire
Well, no.
series?
I mean, like they're waiting the entire series, but like when the book first came out, they're like, yeah, we're planning the series, and then someone's like, hey, they're planning on making a live action adaptation of this book series. Do you think it would have worked?
After the first book came out.
Yeah. Like, considering the style and the feeling the first book gave to you, and you know how the series was gonna pan out, there was gonna be like a short series.
There was a moment in the first book that I definitely thought I would love to see this play out in real life, and it's whenever, and I feel like it's really human, and it was whenever Wallace said, "You're my bitch forever, Scott."
Yeah.
Like whenever he's going to like take a shower, and it's like
Because that book, if you read that, because Martin Thomas, who Leon, whatever, he was talking about how when someone first introduced him to Scott Pilgrim, they're like, yeah, this book's amazing. They're gonna make a movie about it. And he started reading it, and at first he's like, well, as a comic book, this is kind of boring. I mean, it's like nice and all this stuff. It's pretty okay, but like it's kind of boring. But a movie adaptation could work, as a little drama. And he said once it got to the crazy part of the book, he said that this was perfect, and he's like, there's no way this is gonna be a movie until he found out who was like making it, and like all that stuff.
yeah.
So but what I mean is like when it first started, like you thought, like, oh yeah, this series, yeah, they're gonna make a live action adaptation of it. Do you think it would have worked at all?
I love this so much. What the fuck is this?
But what?
Okay. I've never seen this before. It's a site called geeksofdoom.com.
What the hell?
No. See, because I looked up. Here's what's cool about it. I look up the I look up Scott Pilgrim versus the World profit to see how much it made in junk, and like this article came up on geeksofdoom.com. Do you know who it's by?
No.
Guy named Henchman21, which is a reference to Venture Brothers.
That's awesome.
And he has the picture.
Hey!
Yeah.
I should start watching Venture Brothers. I've seen, over the course of my lifetime, I've seen about 10 episodes. It's really funny. I should start watching that show.
With Scott Pilgrim versus the World making less... By the way, credit goes to Henchman21 on geeksofdoom.com.
Great name.
With Scott Pilgrim vs. the World making less than $11 million at the domestic box office this weekend, many are calling it a failure, and that this is the end of adaptations of small graphic novels. I'm here to offer a different spin on things. Yes, I can't deny that I wish the film had done better at the box office. While it's not a true measure of the film's quality, box office numbers do matter, and the low returns on Scott Pilgrim show that a lot of people who would enjoy what I feel is a very good movie did not see it. However, it is good to remember that box office is very rarely an indication of a film's quality, whether it be when a good movie does poorly or a bad movie does well. I'll let you provide your own examples of both. Here are a few reasons why the relative poor showing in the movie is connected to the audience that did see it. Hollywood will not stop making movies based on small graphic novels. Edgar Wright will not stop making movies. And those are his 3 reasons. But, whatever.
So what was the box office return?
11 million.
11 million?
Yeah.
Well, can you look up like so far? Like on Wikipedia, I think it'll just say like so far. What the thing is.
Wikipedia. Espanol.
What?
Wikipedia Espanol.
Oh shit. That while you're looking that up, so I think last year, 2013, sometime in December, maybe, they released the 3 Flavors of Cornetto box set. That World's End,
they did?
Hot Fuzz. I kind of wish it would have waited until this year and it made it even better, because it's like if you have the 2-disc edition of each movie, it's basically like those are the DVDs that you have in the box set. It's not even
whenever you said 10 million,
yeah,
did you think that was its entire movie run?
Wait, is it not?
No, that was opening weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I fucked up. Oh, why do I know it's opening weekend?
What?
Why do I know it's opening weekend? Like I've always 10 million is the number I've always associated with Scott Pilgrim. That's weird. Okay, continue.
Its budget was 85 to 90 million, and then 60 million after tax rebates.
Oh, 60 million. Okay.
And its box office was 47 million.
Ah, okay.
66.
Still 20 million away from even breaking
even
even though. And that is
that's box office. After DVDs, they probably definitely broke it. I'm guessing.
Probably
because the DVD
it was the highest when the Blu-ray was released. It was the highest selling Blu-ray on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
So you
fucking
could
huge.
you could
I guess, yeah, but then you gotta. This isn't like whatever, but like 60 million, I guess, would be the base for like the movie. Everyone associated with it, and then there's like another 20 million that the studio puts in for advertisement and all that shit, which they didn't do at all. They barely did any advertisement for that movie.
Yeah. Which I feel is probably why it did so poor.
Where did I find that about Scott Pilgrim? I think it was on Adult Swim.
The film finished 5th on its first week of release with a total of 10.5 million. So it wasn't even like a bad opening weekend.
It wasn't, but since it opened at 5, and then immediately afterwards it was out of the top 5. And then I think the way it happened was it opened up at number 5 with 10 million with a budget of 60 million. So they're like, well, all right, I mean, they can still get there. And then the second weekend it was already out of the top 5. It was like number 6 or 7. And then by the third week it was like number 9 or 10.
The film received generally positive reviews by critics and fans of the graphic novel, but it failed to recoup its production budget during its release in teasers, grossing 31.5 million in North America and 16 million internationally. See, I don't know. I almost said I feel like it would do better in Canada. No, I don't. I honestly think Scott Pilgrim has a bigger fan base in
America.
Because
America has weird fan bases. Where like, say Sherlock, you go to the BBC and there's a lot of fans of Sherlock because it's a good show, but nowhere near the fandom of like America. Do you think it's just something because it's just from a different place that we care so much about it?
What I don't like about America is we fought a war. No,
all right.
I'm about to go all Logan on this right now.
This is funny.
We fought a war to become America, to be our own thing, and then we're initially being everybody else.
Yeah.
And like, it's not that I love external, like, I don't want to say external.
Media?
I love international media.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of good shit out there.
Like, I can absorb content from any direction on Earth, but I just feel like people with their fandoms, there's nothing in America other than The Walking Dead, I would say, that has like a really big fandom.
Like outside of the U.S.?
Well, I mean, I guess you could also say
Supernatural.
I guess you could also say comics.
But then that's for seeing girls.
But like,
well, movies in general. I mean, USA has like the U.S. has a pretty big. Like,
yeah, but like I feel like movies in general, unless it's from.
Oh, we're talking about fandom though. I was thinking of something. No,
yeah, I was gonna say like movies tend not to have fandoms, unless they're like, unless they're geek movies, which is.
Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. It has nothing to do with fandom, but it's when Jane Silent Bob were first introduced to the internet. Ben Affleck was like, he's like, yeah, they keep talking about you on the internet. What the fuck is the internet? The internet is where a bunch of people can connect to each other and give each other vast variables of knowledge. But what they usually use it to is to bitch about movies and watch porn.
What was the set they went to? It was called like The Poop or something like that. Movie Poop.
Movie Poop Shoot.
Movie Poop.
Magnolia fan 90 something. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you Magnolia? And then he's like, yeah. And then they just like
beat the shit out.
They throw the list away.
I love how it's just like some 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Are you Magnolia fan?
I think it might have been the year he was born, like 1994
or something.
Which at that point would have been 12 years old, or not even 12.
No, you were like 7.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Not 1994. It's probably like 19.
Maybe it's like the year he whatever fandoms, geek movies. What?
So yeah, a lot of movies just don't have fandoms unless they're like geek movies.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I guess not weird, because with geek stuff, it's like it already existed and it already has a culture behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas with normal movies, it's like, oh, okay, The Hunger Games.
What?
That's totally something that wasn't like a geek thing before, but has like a huge following in the movies.
I didn't hear what?
The Hunger Games.
Oh.
Like, I mean, you can argue that it was a geek following, but it was more like a general audience. Like, it had a large general audience.
Like, you wouldn't necessarily call the audience for Harry Potter a nerd audience, because it was just...
It was more like a family thing. And like
too many people liked it, because people were thinking, like, I read this somewhere about cult movies, and they were like, though many people could, like, Harry Potter maybe could be considered cult movies, but their, like, fan base is just kind of wide. It's too wide to be a cult movie.
That's why you can't call it a cult movie.
Yeah.
Because cult specifically refers to
Something
like
underground, weird, not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like
Which is
also,
its fandom is too big to be.
I kind of feel like you can tell the difference between graphic novel movies and like novel movies and comic book movies. Like you can definitely tell the difference because like with graphic novel movies, they tend to use like I want to say everything has kind of a softer edge to it.
Yeah.
And everything's kind of lighter, and it's more kind of making fun of how it was a novel before. Whereas with like comic book movies and like superhero movies, everything's so like sharp and everything's got to have that little bit of blackness to it. Shadows are so defined, and like it's just got a serious tone to it, generally.
Yeah, they don't like usually there's not a huge like comic book thing that's like, or that gets popular at least or gets a movie that's like making fun of itself. Like, I mean, Avengers.
Iron Man kind of make fun of itself.
Well, I mean, because that's just the character. What I'm talking about is like
the character.
You can take the Avengers and say that's about 40% comedy.
Yeah,
but it's not like. But it's not like Scott. Let's say Scott Pilgrim, where there's a line in the movie as Scott Pilgrim walks into the until he walks into the shit. What's his name? Gideon's club.
Yeah.
Something Palace.
Why do you do this to me?
I don't know, but like when he walks in, you hear wow, now I forgot his name.
Gideon?
No, I keep wanting to say Caillou.
Caillou?
The guy who knows everyone.
Oh, that's Cameo.
It's not Caillou. It's not that. It's like
It's Cameo
or something like that.
It's like,
where like Scott, whatever. Where Scott walks in, you just hear him say like yeah, the graphic novel's better than the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Scott Pilgrim.
Now you look this up. And in novel movies, they're kind of more like they're way more like far-reaching than comic book movies. Like Forrest Gump is nowhere near the same as Hunger Games. They're complete. You kind of know what I'm getting at, right?
What do you say? What?
A graphic novel movie, or a cult movie, or well.
Are you saying that Forrest Gump is a graphic novel movie?
No, I was talking about like movies based on novels.
Is Forrest Gump based off a novel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently, I don't know if they did do this or I don't know if they did it or.
I'm so uncultured. I'm sorry. Like
yes,
that's so. It's kind of weird that I wouldn't know that. I feel like it would be, but at the same time, I just never.
The author was either planning on writing a sequel or did write a sequel. Where like Forrest was in Oklahoma during the bombing.
Oh.
9/11. I don't know. Weird. It was just
not 9/11.
It probably wasn't gonna be.
If he was in Oklahoma, it would be the Murrah building, right?
Yeah, and then he was there to witness 9/11. He was there to witness, which probably wouldn't have worked out.
So him witnessing all the tragedies of Earth.
Well, no.
Like what the fuck?
Because you know how his story starts off in the, I don't know, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
About 30s, 40s, or no, more 40s.
And then it just turned out he was actually in the 2000s.
And it was him up to maybe the 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s. This movie, the sequel would have been him. Would have taken place after him in the 90s up to some of the early 2000s.
So he'd be 60.
Yeah, which wouldn't. I don't think that would have been good.
That's kind of.
Did you see Cinema Sins? He hasn't done one in a long time actually, but he did these videos called movie recipes, where he'll teach you how to make a dish that tastes exactly like a movie.
You told me about that, and they're all shit.
I love the Forrest Gump one.
What is it?
It's
shrimp.
A base of protein, so it's shrimp, base of shrimp, and then. This movie is filled with air, so it's a jar of that marshmallow fluff covering that. And then he had some other stuff, but it was now the most... Cheese Whiz. A whole can of Cheese Whiz. because just like the movie, it leaves you with a weird, strange aftertaste. And then he's the most important factor of the movie and your dish is nostalgia. So he pulled out Tang and he covered it in Tang. And he's but for you it might be different. It might be Pixie Sticks or Big League Chew. And he's now put that in the oven. Wherever he pulls it out, and he's there you go. Now that you have it here, garnish with a lit cigarette and enjoy. Every dish he garnishes with a lit cigarette.
Really? Why?
I don't know. It's just a joke. It was for the Great Gatsby cocktail.
Okay, I can understand that one.